my town in Normandy, we made like a circus group. And if you type on Google search, you can find like a little article and you see little me standing like that, you know, with the gang and everything. When I was 11, this led me to dancing and a lot of different things actually. Yeah, that's how everything started. I started like kind of self-taught through YouTube videos first.
Okay, so step one, real simple.
Sometimes I was doing a bit of busking in the high streets and earned a bit of change.
Really engaging and inspiring short documentary. Amazing storytelling, really well-spoken subject of the documentary. I found myself in disbelief with the story and I was hooked at the very beginning. It was an unexpected shift, and I think the way that the story was told, even though it's nonfiction and it's someone's life, the techniques are amazing for creating that suspense and not knowing what happens next. And I just thought it was so interesting and so engaging as a documentary. And I could totally see this as like a full-length fictionalized film based on true events. It was really, really great and an incredibly inspiring story.
I really liked a lot of things about this. I liked that it was an interview first and foremost of his experience and him getting to tell his story in a way that clearly felt natural to him, and how he was telling it wasn't like didn't seem scripted or anything like that. Like, it just very much felt like his kind of natural progression of, this is kind of how I got to that situation, this is what happened, and this is what I experienced, and then this is how I escaped, kind of the natural flow of it, which I thought was really nice, especially because then they did add in little clips of like tap dancing and like different like dancer moves and things like that throughout the thing. So it wasn't just the camera staring at him the entire time. At least as an audience member, it didn't feel that way. And just like getting to hear the whole story and what he experienced and how it kind of evolved and changed him. And I thought it was really interesting. I thought it was really well done. The little clips at the end were just like, kind of took the whole movie to a different place just with those end little scenes.
What a fascinating piece. I honestly was unsure if it was a true story or not, because it was such a heightened journey that our character went on. I loved the idea of having him just sit direct address to tell us a story, and the great visuals to accompany that journey as well. So it felt like we were living through that with him. And I loved at the end getting to check in, see where he's at now, and getting to see him doing the thing he loves in that dance. So really just interesting ideas on the commodification of art, the heart behind it, and yeah, just society trying to take art to find their own purpose or appropriate this art for their own purpose when the true honest intent isn't behind it.
Totally not the direction that I thought it was going to be in. I thought it was going to be like, I mean, it ended up being what I thought it was, which was, you know, a story about this young, dedicated, committed dancer who loves his craft and has so much passion for what he does. And it was that, but it definitely took a dark turn, and it's almost hard to believe that, like, this actually happened, because it sounds like something out of a movie. And yeah, just what an incredible story, and with a very, very happy ending. And, you know, I think that it's kind of one of those stories that says, and it's kind of dark, but like everything happens for a reason. And, you know, he may never have tried to join this competition afterwards, which means he never would have won, which means he never would have had the funds to like help his mom and start his own dance studio and company and all of that. So just a really full circle story that that was just really incredible to listen to. And he's so brave, and I love that he didn't let the trauma of this experience get the best of him, and he really made the best of a bad situation. And I think that speaks so much to his character and his strength. I loved this.
It's a wonderful story. I felt so bad for Gaspard, though. He went through all of that, and apparently so many of these other people did. But wow, I'm so happy that, you know, he got out okay. And gosh, what an ending. You couldn't have made up this story. You know, you couldn't have made this up, and yeah, you couldn't have written this story down, because it's unbelievable how crazy it is. But, you know, I mean, it's real. It's absolutely real. And we even have footage now at the end to prove it. I mean, I believed him when he's telling me the story throughout, but then, you know, we have further evidence of the video proof there at the end. I mean, it's just astounding. I hope all the other folks are okay too. Yeah, I mean, this is an incredible story, and I love the way it was presented. So Gaspard's very, you know, and just in an interview, he's very likable. You know, you love hearing him tell the story, and you're just so on his side. The footage of him dancing is really wonderful and very enjoyable. I love the way they cut in the clips of you know, Fred Astaire and Gene Kelly and whatnot, and when he's talking about how terrible the guys are, how terrible they are at dancing, and they cut in a footage of Fred Astaire. You know, it's kind of ironic and humorous. Yeah, and it was shocking at the end to see how brutal these guys were and how crazy. But you know, such a wonderful ending to this, that he was able to win this big competition and you know, win enough money to buy his mom a house and go to college, and he's opening a school. Good for him. Just absolutely wonderful. I hope we hear more from him in the coming years, more good things about his dancing and his success. So excellent job on this piece. It's good that the story is getting out, you know, like this for his sake. So yeah, wonderful job with this, and I hope this goes far, and I hope that Gaspard goes far beyond this.
What an amazing story. I'm so glad you made this film. I didn't even know that this happened. I mean, why would I? It happens, you know, it happened in Europe. We don't get a lot of that kind of news, but oh, I loved this. I loved this. This was great. Obviously not actors, obviously a documentary style, so kudos to the person who found out the story and decided that the world needed to see it. The writer, the director, whoever collaborated to create this work of art, because we needed to know this story. You were right. You were 100% right. It's really, really fascinating. I love the photos. I love the music. I love the trajectory of it. I love the way the story was told. I loved the little captions filling us in on what was next or what happened next. I just really loved this. Thank you for making it.